I did my paper on sociology and I titled it Sociology Through My Eyes. Sociology to me is how we view things in our society and how we interact with people socially. Everybody view things differently and everybody's raised differently. Like for instance, I'm African American as you can see, and I was raised in a Christian home. So my beliefs could be different from one of my friends' beliefs, or how I view things could be different from the way they view things simply because the way we were raised. My culture, we can pretty much dress however we want to believe or however we want to dress as long as it's comfortable and it's not too revealing. A lot of cultures eat differently. Like you have Hispanics who eat Mexican food, we have Japanese food, Chinese food, Italian food. It's a lot of different cultures, and everybody is different and do things differently in their cultures based on what they believe. And being different makes interactions different with others. Because for instance, a person born in poverty may think or believe differently from a person born wealthy, and that could be because they feel like that person has more money than them, which is not always the case or always a good reason. But a lot of people think like that. A person with money have more opportunity than a person who's born poor. They get better education, they're always well dressed, well behaved, and they tend to do better in life than a person that come up poor. Social interaction can have a really big effect on a person in life. For instance, I had a resident, she told me about her granddaughter who was very smart in school and got moved up a couple grades because she was so smart, and that kind of messed up her social interaction with others because she began to be around older people, so she really didn't know how to talk to them or act around them because she was younger than them. So her being skipped up grades was good because she was very smart, but it also affected her socially as far as communicating with her peers. Then social social media can play a big part in how we interact socially as well. Like now we have a lot of bullying going on in schools, and a lot of that bullying can take place on social media. Like it's been plenty of news articles or newscastings on TV or just reports about children committing suicide because they've been bullied at school. That's crazy, but it's true. And social social media plays a big effect in that because people get behind a computer screen and just feel like they can do and say whatever they want to, which is not always the case. And it's not good and it's not healthy, and it can really cause someone to kill themselves. We have kids 10 and 13 years old committing suicide because they're being bullied, and that's not right. You have people who may have grew up in a bad home where they didn't get a lot of love from their parents, or they were abused by their parents, excuse me, and they grow up to be the bully, or they grow up to be that person going into school with the gun and killing 10 to 20 people. I mean, you never know what goes on in a person's household, but that right there can affect their social interactions with others. Um, and that's not good. But a lot of things that we do is based off of what we believe in. Everybody doesn't think the same. Everybody doesn't view things the same, and that's simply because the way or simply how we were raised. I know there are some religious people who don't eat pork. I choose not to eat pork because of how bad pork is for you. And pork is in a lot of foods, but a lot of people don't eat pork because of religious beliefs. My religion does not require me not to eat pork. That's just something I chose to do. Um, but we do live in a very diverse world. We have a lot of mixed relationships or interracial relationships nowadays, and it seems to be more accepted, as well as a lot more lesbians and homosexuals and transgenders, and it's becoming more accepted. And that's just people being themselves and showing everyone who they really are, and still being able to be themselves without being judged or feeling like they're being judged by their peers, which is a way to communicate socially. You got to be yourself in order to feel comfortable in your own skin. But like I said before, we all view and see things differently, and a lot of our views can come from the way we were raised. And our culture plays a big part in it too. Religion plays a big part in it, and just pretty much our overall how we were basically how we were raised is what is how our social interaction come about, and how we view things.